Okay, first video um had some issues for some reason. It came out and it wasn't giving me the audio. But all right, so woke up late. This is statistics, the stats for this week. We took one trade. Uh, yes, on Monday, two trades on Tuesday. We took two losses. Wednesday, we made um, all of that money back and some, made $378 in total in profit throughout this week, which is pretty cool. Um, so today, the reason for this trade was kind of more of a relatively experience in the market. I've been trading again for a long period of time, but I always switch models. Now I'm trying to stick with the market making model taught by Boy. And yeah, so what I've taken from Boy so far involving with uh, my executions is the higher time frame, the lower time frame alignment. I've seen here that we're kind of getting some consolidation going on, but if we drop down, we're kind of creating some OBs that were later kind of going to continue down lower into these down moves. So the first short I took because we were making this higher high right here, and I kind of wanted to see this. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick, but allergies and stuff. But I kind of like seeing this get respected here, so I kind of wanted this to kind of come back up here again. Like this is kind of just more of like a relatively like experience in the market. I don't know if this would be considered a sweep on the external liquidity. I don't know if this would be considered a sweep and then kind of just coming back down. But it created an OB, and I got an entry off of this OB. I took when this got rejected, I simply just shorted right here, and I held my position. I held my position, and actually no, sorry, no. I had this. I shorted right here. This is where I shorted at, and I had my stop loss up here. Yeah, I had my yeah. So I shorted. So it's more of so like this, and this kind of made me more confident in getting into this trade. This was a bad execution here, but I should have had execution here off of this OB that was created, and then if it got induced, right? Like I want to say, I don't really know what it's called exactly. My terminology is not really good with what this is, but kind of like just wanted this to go down. This candle to go down, and then just for the CE to get respected, and respect this OB, and then kind of continue down into a into like another um draw of liquidity below that on a higher time frame. So I know that on the 15 we had this for value gap here, and it got hit originally, and then kind of wanted to go down lower and see if there's any other gaps that we probably possibly had open left, which isn't really much. Um, all that was really left here was just straight up external, just more external liquidities getting swept, which was this OB on the higher time frame as well, which also just got ran through. But originally it respected, which I exited out of. So I thought it was just gonna come pop back up and then go higher. But I uh I ended the day in green because of just I knew what I wanted to see in a way. I was pretty scared, so I had a bigger stop. Like a 30-point stop is pretty crazy for like a I think where I exit out up here, um 637 right here. So it's more of so like yeah. So like barely even like a 2 RR off this trade, which is pretty bad. in my opinion. But um, this is just what happened and what my thought process was going on about this trade. I had entry here and then it just popped back up, but it swept liquidity. And then once we got this ejection, I'm actually glad we had our stop up here. I risked 1 micro, so up here was like $500 for like I think it was $500 for like 1,200. My bad for all the sniffling. Allergies is going on right now, and I'm going through it. But yeah, so seeing what I wanted to see, seeing a swept, I want to say swept lower time frame internal liquidity, or I don't know if this is a OB right here. Maybe if this is an OB on the higher time frame. Seems like an OB on the higher time frame. If that's a logical, if this is a logical thing here, uh, if this is an OB at all, this looks terrible. I'm gonna just take that off. That doesn't even look like anything, to be honest. Um, but yeah, that's what kind of just convicted me to take shorts or just seeing a lot of just kind of like hindsight. I'm not trying to really be a hindsight trader, but this trade was basically just of a hindsight and just relative experience in the market. Um, I just seen that we're just getting these wicks and we're just respecting not going any higher. I want to see targets lower. I aim for the closest liquidity zone that's below, and it worked. Um, I kind of don't want to say it's luck because this is my original trade right here. Boom, bam. When it started coming back up, I kind of just, took my respectful pieces instead of just waiting for it to retest. Because I do not know how to sit in a trade for retesting, and that's one of my biggest problems. And I do want to see how I can fix that with sitting inside of a trade, knowing that it's going to retest instead of just like, all right, I'm getting out of this. Because when this came back up and it went from $1,000 down to, I don't know, I mean, went from like when it came from like 1,400 or $1,500 right down here, because I was trying to finish out at these lows and get 2,000. I I just took off and just left with just 1,120 on the day. Yeah, 120, I think it was. Yeah, 120. But yeah, so that's really about it. I'm still sticking to the rules of 2 trades a day. As I trade more, I want to start my 30-day challenge soon and add more stuff into my trades. I want to know if this is an A plus setup. Let me know if this is an A plus setup. I don't think it's an A plus setup because we had such a high risk and we didn't really have much of a good RR of a like one. I think 101 is good, but 102 is like not too bad either. But yeah, this is my trade I was fairly confident taking. I just can't do retests. Like I just don't like doing ticket entries and they have to do a retest, which I know I'm losing probably a lot of money out of, and I want to see how I can fix that with my psychology. I think that's a really big problem of mine. If there's any other tips that I can probably get at all, please let me know. Involved with maybe entries, maybe levels. I'm not really good at using levels. So I just started watching your standard deviation video as well. So um, let me know if there's any possible way I can get a fix on that and how to properly use premium and discount. I don't know how to use premium and discount properly. I've seen your videos, but they've been giving me. I just haven't couldn't really get a grasp on the standard deviation and the premium and discount videos. I don't really know what time. I don't know how to use it on the higher time frame to the lower time frame. I know how to take executions on the higher time frame and lower time frame, like the OB and for value gaps and where to target at. I know how to take I know where to target to from like internal to external liquidity. I think that's like the easiest concept that I got out of uh the mentorship. The only problem is that I just don't know where to base off my entries and no, not my entries. The standard deviation premium discount for key levels on where I should want to see market retests and where I should respect that and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna make this too long. How do I?